It's finally time, baby! This is exactly what we've been waiting for. I know everyone is hyped for this. I certainly am. Football's back. It's week one. That's right. And just like last year, which, maybe or maybe not gave up on week 12, it's all right. It's all right. You know what? I didn't see the whole season through, but I will this time. I love giving my picks. And I'm going to give my picks, okay? Every week we're going to be giving the picks. You know, we always have a pretty good track record. Last year had a pretty good track record too. We'll keep an overall score what we're doing. Um, yeah, I'll give you the picks, potential scores there. I don't necessarily look at the spreads on this. Why? Because I live in a state that doesn't have legalized gambling. So for that reason, the spreads aren't really relevant to me too much. But if you want me to look at a site that includes the spreads, that'll be plenty fine. I'd be happy to do that too. Um, let's just get crack-a-lack in week one. And it's going to be a good time. So first off, we've got Thursday freaking night. Usually these Thursday night games are pretty bummy, but this is a Thursday night game which should be fantastic. Should be. We're talking about Lions at Arrowhead against the Chiefs. Look, there's no another team you want to root more for than these beautiful Lions. But if we're being real and honest with each other, we know who we have to pick here, right? This is going to the Chiefs, unfortunately. I wish it didn't. Now, I think the Lions have a shot here, and you want to know why? Offensively, I think they're very, very good. Now, the only issue they really haven't addressed the defense all that much. Kansas City is going to be they're going to be a bit of a problem, as you know. They've got a man named Patrick Mahomes, unfortunately, and he just makes things happen, even though it's a receiving core that's not necessarily star-studded by any means, and a little bit banged up. But hey, we'll see what happens. I think the Chiefs take this dub, and I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game, right? We're talking about, probably Mahomes throws for 3 touchdowns. I would be surprised if Goff doesn't get 2 or 3. It's going to be a pretty good game. Let me just give you a preliminary score prediction here of a 34. Oh, yeah, Chiefs 34. Lions, I think it's going to be close, but I think they're going to put up let's just say it's a 34-31 game. It's probably not going to be close to that, but that's what I'm picking. So how about you like that? Moving on. We got the 12 o'clock Sunday game. It's going to be a fantastic week because every team plays this first week. So I love to see all these games on the docket. No bye weeks. Just lovely. So we've got Panthers against Falcons. Look, we got the Panthers. Did I say? I hope I said Panthers. Look, both teams that I'm not high on this year at all, and I don't think you're shocked why. I don't think the Panthers are all that great, and I don't trust Desmond Ridder at QB for the Falcons. And they weren't all that great last year, with Mariota, with really anybody. They weren't great. So I don't really like either team. Now, I will say this advantage does go to the Falcons because they are the better team here. The Panthers just didn't really make the changes they needed to. In fact, they lost big pieces here. DJ Moore is a big loss for them going to the Bears. It really is. So the Panthers are just going to be in a rough spot, right? They provide a rookie QB with no weapons. It's hard to make things happen when that happens. Oh wait, they got Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders stinks. He stinks, okay? I think this is a sloppy game. I really do. Plenty of field goals for young Hui Koo. Something to the effect of a Falcons 20, Panthers 13. I think young Hui Koo is going to put up some field goals, have a good time. Another no. In this, my opinion so far, it's a no-brainer here on this one. Texans, Ravens. Do I need to even take a look there? Again, you got a rookie with not many weapons to his name. The receiving core just is not there. You got a lot of. That's the Texans. They're incredibly young, untested. Pierce is going to be really good at RB, but you're talking about the Ravens, and this is a team that scores pretty heavily, pretty frequently. It's going to be tough with a terrible defense when the Ravens are running it down your throat. You can't rely on Pierce. You're going to have to air it out, and when you don't have honestly, it's a 100% unproven passing offense because it is. Nico Collins isn't your guy, right? He's just not going to be. He's not a stud. I hate to say it, but maybe he could be. I could be wrong on that one. I just don't foresee it going too well for him. Ravens going to win this one. Kind of weird because I'm not putting any field goals in here. We'll just do 28 to a measly 13. I think this is a blowout of a game, honestly. It might not be because it's week 1. Anything could happen, but we'll see. Bengals, Browns, finally going to go with an away team here. You know, I've done a lot of home teams. We'll do with the away team. We're going Bengals. I like both teams a lot this year, by the way. I really do think the Browns are going to take a massive step up from where they were last year. Fully healthy Deshaun, a little bit more, you know, accustomed back to football again. I think he's going to do a pretty good job here. The Bengals still high flying. Joe Burrow will be fine, obviously. You've got one of the best, if not the best, receiving core in the league. It's scary. And you got a wife beater in the backfield. So, I mean, if he's beating wives, maybe he's beating up defenses too. Or does he beat kids? I don't know. It's hard to say with these NFL players. They probably do both, but Joe Mixon's a piece of garbage. Unfortunately, have to pick the Bengals to the effect of a 31. Ooh, that's ugly. Let's rewrite that. So let's do a 31, and I'll give them a 27. I think it's going to be a decent game for the Browns. I really do. Now, Jags, Colts, again, I have to do it. Got to go with an away team here, but the Jags are just way more, at this point, proven. Still a very young team, incredibly young. But hey, the Colts are kind of in the same boat. I mean, you're going to be without your running back. Let's just be real. JT is the running back. You've got a rookie quarterback who's he's very raw. I mean, you know, Anthony Richardson is very raw. That's just needs to be said. Doesn't mean he can't shine. But again, Trevor Lawrence, I think he's really going to take another step up. He's been consistently getting better year over year over year. That passing game is going to be ridiculous with Ridley back. I mean, he's going to be wild. I think it's going to be a fantastic year for the Jags. And the Colts, unfortunately, just don't stand much of a chance in this game. I think the Jags dominate, but in typical Jags fashion, I think they blunder a little bit. So let's just go with the 27-20. Nothing crazy, but I think it's for sure the Jags game here. Now, Buccaneers, Vikings, on paper, easily the Vikings. When you think about it, it's not a game that I'd be shocked if the Buccaneers upset the Vikings, though. Just being 100% honest with you. And you want to know why? It's a thing called the Vikings, okay? In games in which they've got very, very tough opponents, they do perform very, very well. They just always do, right? They did last year. It's what they do. Now, in these easy games is when they struggled last year. And this should be an easy game. Sorry, Baker Mayfield. You still have a great, great passing offense around you with the receiver core, but it's just lackluster. It's going to be hard. They're going to have to pass a lot. They really do. I mean, it's just something where I think the Vikings take this one. I don't know. It's just got to happen this way. I don't even know how to score this one. It's just kind of a weird one. Once again, I think we're going to go with the effect of a 27 to something like a, you know, it's going to be an odd score. Let's just go with like a, let's do 21. That's not an odd score at all. That's actually the most normal score ever. What am I talking about? Saints or Titans at Saints. Titans at New Orleans. What are they going to do here? This one is actually one of the toughest games of the week for me in this one. Why? Well, Saints, you know, they're going to be relying on none other than Derek Carr, and I don't dislike it at all. The Titans going to be struggling passing the ball. I mean, there's no doubt you're going to be heavily reliant on Treylon Burks. Well, obviously, Derrick Henry is going to be running probably about 20 times this game, maybe more. He's going to get a lot of carries. Unfortunately, I think the Saints are going to do a decent job at countering it. I don't, you know me, I don't dislike Derek Carr at all, and I think they're going to do pretty well here. Now, Jamal Williams, again, they're missing Kamara, which is a factor, but Jamal Williams is a very serviceable back, and he's a tutty fiend. This game, and I don't like any of this AFC South division. I don't like any of the teams on there, as you know. So I don't like the Titans all that much either. I don't like the Saints either. If you look from an NFC perspective. But let's just say, you know, it's a game where Derek Carr does what he's got to do. 24 points. Titans, look, running's just not going to do it. We'll do 17 for them. It's just not going to do it. It won't cut it. 49ers, Steelers. Now, it is a tough one. It shouldn't be. The only reason why it's a tough one is I don't like I don't like Brock Purdy. I just he's not. Look, he's honestly probably worse than Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not by much, but again, he's coming off of an arm surgery, by the way, and he's just not all that fantastic. That's the thing about San Fran is they've got it set up. The offense is perfectly set up with Shanahan to where you don't necessarily need to be an expert, a fantastic QB to succeed. You need to be serviceable and at least average. Even a below average QB does well in San Fran's offense. Now the Steelers, Kenny Pickett, is he going to take that second, that big step in the second year? I don't know if he's there yet. I just don't like against San Fran's defense. That's the real factor here. I don't know if I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'll just tell you that. So I'm going San Fran 17-13. I think it's a low-scoring game. Two pretty good defenses. Two mediocre offenses, to be real with each other. Steelers are going to look mediocre against San Fran's defense in my eyes, and I could be completely wrong. Now we've got Cardinals, Commanders. I mean, there's no doubt. No doubt in my mind this is going Commander / Red Wolves / whatever they are anymore. Generals. I don't know. The name change just keeps happening every year. The Cardinals are starting Clayton Tune. We don't need to say much more about this. Washington defense is going to do a fantastic job here. Cardinals they're just not going to be able to do much against this Commanders, defense. I just don't think it's going to be good. Now the Commanders don't necessarily have a proven offense at all. Sam Howell's not the guy I would want under center, but it's okay. You don't necessarily need to be great here. I think it's going to be a show of the running back, so we're going to see a two-headed beast, which anyone looks like that against the Cardinals. But Brian Robinson going to get a decent chunk of carries, and we're going to see, Antonio Gibson finally getting used this year. That's my prediction, folks. He's finally going to get used for once. Mark my words. I could be wrong. They hate him. They hate him with all their guts. But I think maybe he gets some use this year. So let's put him on top 20 to a measly 10. I mean, it's a measly 10. Packers, Bears, come on now. He owns them. He still owns them. Why? Rodgers isn't even there, but I'm still going to say it. It's actually one where, look, I don't know. There's not enough respect coming Jordan Love's way. I'm just being honest. And a little too much respect coming Justin Fields' way. Look. It's a defense that does get run over all over the place, right? They always get run on, and it's pretty rough usually. And that's the Bears' specialty. But Khalil Herbert, he's not an X-Factor guy. He's just not. Fields, now, he is running the ball. But from a pass perspective, it's just something I don't, if you let these Packers get out ahead, the Bears are going to be in for a tough time. I still think the tried and true Packers dominating the Bears might still exist. I feel pretty good about Jordan Love. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. So let's put him on top 24-20. That's what I'm doing for that game. Suck on it if you disagree. Raiders, Broncos. Let's ride, baby. Broncos country. Let's ride. I'm picking the Broncos, and you know what? I was high on them last year, and I was an idiot. But you know who I'm high on again this year? Kind of the Broncos, okay? I mean, I'm kind of high on them. I think Russ comes back with a vengeance here. He's eaten a lot of danger witches in the offseason, and he's looking to do some good things. And, hey, the Raiders, it's freaking Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, I think he's definitely a step down from Derek Carr, and they were okay last year. Josh Jacobs, he's going to take a step back as well. The Broncos, pretty decent D on him. Uh, I like the receiving core. Obviously, a little bit banged up already to start the year, but I like the receiving core. Questionable at running back right now with Javonte being hurt. Samaje Perine is not that guy. I mean, he's just not. But he's not supposed to be that guy, right? Javonte's supposed to be that guy. We'll see what happens. But anyways, I'm going Broncos on top here. Broncos country, we're riding to 27-21 victory. Dolphins, Chargers, a classic game that the Chargers typically win. I'm just being honest. I love this matchup quite a bit. It's going to be fantastic. It should be a very high scoring game. I am sticking with the Chargers here though. You want to know why? I just think they're a little bit better. I don't know. This one easily could go either way. I am going to pick the Chargers, although, no, I'll pick them. I'll pick them. Let's do it, and it's going to be a high-scoring game. Something to the effect of a 34 to a 20. Let's just go 28. It's kind of a weird score, I know, but I'm doing it. 6-point differential. I like both teams quite a bit here. I just think the Chargers take the dub at the end of the day. Eagles Patriots, I have to go with the Eagles here. The Patriots just don't have the firepower to really keep in touch with the Eagles. Mac Jones, he's not, he's not the guy that's going to do it. Now, again, I don't like Jalen Hurts all that much either, but I just think that offense is just unfortunately too high-powered for the Patriots defense, which is good. And the Eagles have a good defense. I mean, it's just going to be a very tough game for the Patriots. I just don't see how they could possibly do that. They've got one of the toughest schedules this year too. It's going to be tough for them. I think the Eagles take a W here to the effect of 27 to 20. Rams Seahawks. It's not a game I like at all. I mean, I hate it. We're talking about Matthew Stafford with a broken arm, potentially just throwing to, he's got a Peyton Manning noodle arm, by the way, and he's throwing to Van Jefferson as wide receiver one this game. Cam Akers, I'm not a big Cam Akers believer. He could be decent, but again, I just don't know. And then we got the Seahawks here with freaking Geno Smith. It's not a game I like, but I am obviously going to go Seattle at home. I think it's a necessity. I think it's a game you have to pick that way. Now, let's just go with a little subtle 24. And I'll give the Rams 20. I don't know if they're even put up that many points. It's just there's a lot of question marks on that offense right now for week 1. Kupp could play for all I know, but at this point it doesn't seem like he's going to, or if he is, he's going to be very limited. So we'll see. Now, what a shocker the freaking Cowboys get Sunday Night Football. They always freaking do. I don't understand how they always get prime time. No one wants to watch the Cowboys. They stink. The Cowboys stink. Now, with that said, I do think they're going to win, as much as I just said they stink. It's going to be a pretty good game, actually. I just think that they got the edge here. I don't know. That defense is elite. It's just elite. I think my keyboard just unplugged. But that's okay. We're not typing anything. We're only drawing. So what is wrong with this keyboard? Who knows? Who knows? The keyboard's dead, folks. I'm going to have to buy a new keyboard, so that's fine. So, with that said, Cowboys to the effect of no, not 30. No chance. Oh, I can't control Z it. You son of a gun. All right. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Cowboys to the effect of a 20. Let's do 27. Maher got a couple kicks to him. 27 to 24. I think it's a pretty close game. I do. That's the worst 4 that's ever existed. A little better. A little better. Then we've got Bills, Jets. We'll see what they're able to do. I don't know how I'm feeling on this one. This is a tough game. It's hard for me to pick against the Bills, with how high-powered that offense is. But we also don't know what in the world is in store for Aaron Rodgers and these Jets. I mean, for that alone, I'm giving this to the Jets. I think it's a wild pick. I think it is. But I'm picking the Jets here in this one. And I hate doing it. I do. Let's go. Let's go something to the effect of kind of wild. This score's probably not going to happen. 28 um, to a 24. It's such a good game. I love it a lot. It's going to be a one-score game, no doubt. We'll just see what happens. Jets D I like a lot here, and the offense is just star-studded. It's really good. That Rodgers to Wilson connection is going to be ridiculously good. Those are my picks here. I hope you like them. We'll see. We'll give our record at the end of the week, see how we did, and keep going on to week 2. So that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day. I guess it's really hard to stop this recording when I don't have my keyboard to hit the hotkey, but let's just do it this way. Bye.